Hello, family, friends, and fans. It's C-Man. It's been a while, I know, because I've been there with that while it was happening. Anyway, so, been requested, as per usual, by some people to make some new videos, which I'm cool with, I'm down with, I like that. I got my hair and makeup done for this video, manicure, emphasis on man. Not that I need to cure that. Anyway, so this video is going to be kind of dedicated to, I've been asked many times, what is your inspiration for becoming said doctor, ENT guy? So this is a common question, and I kind of alluded to it in some of my other videos, as well as the process that I believe is important to establishing that. Anyway, so we'll review it, and I'll go through that, and then I'll talk about some of the other stuff, I guess, my current year and everything. So I might just do another video. Vlogs. Hashtag vlogs. Okay, so inspiration, like what makes you want to become a doctor? What drives you to do this? Do it for the drugs, bro. Just kidding. Don't freaking do drugs. I have a lot of foreign medical people contact me too, so it's kind of hard to establish some of the I guess events that I'm not sure some of it would apply, but that's okay. I'm all about things. I'm all about variety. So it all started with me. I come from a long line of basically the same vocation. A lot of people in my family, and my dad is included in that. And then, so it came to me, and I branched off in a different path. Okay, so this is, I think, what's good about my experience is that it was not an easy thing. Like, it wasn't like, oh, my dad's this, my grandpa's this, I could do it. And that you see a lot of that in medicine. Family of doctors, family of whatever's. Assassins. Ninja assassins would be preferential, actually. So, when I came to me, my mom is a nurse, and so I'd kind of talked to her, and I was also working at the hospital at the time. I was working as a transporter because of these guns. Sorry. You have to lift typically larger patients. Anyway, so I transported. If you don't know what that is, it's just the guy who brings you from one place in the hospital to the other. And I also worked in the laboratory, things like that. I waited tables. So all these things were happening at once, and I kind of was thinking to myself, that I wanted a job that I was mentally stimulated in, that I could also make decent money with. And, for people that, it bothers me sometimes because people are like, oh man, like, well, two types of people. You're a doctor, so like you're gonna make so much money, and they're apparently not keeping up with current healthcare and Obamacare and some of the other threats to that, and also the average medical school debt. Coming out of medical school, if you read the most recent numbers, I think it was $215,000. And that's just the debt, so they're not including interest, accrued interest, and how much you actually will have to pay back. Okay, so in the end. So it'll be much more than that, in other words, unless you can just pay a lump sum for some odd reason, whatever. So my point is that if you're getting into medicine for a financial adventure, you're not. No, don't do that. Become a politician. For real. If you want to make money, you should become a politician. Because you control where the money goes. So, that aside, what inspired me, my mom was a nurse, so I kind of was like talking to some of her people at work. I really was, inquiring a lot. about how what they did, what they wanted to do, and like trying to figure out different professions in the hospital. I talked to ultrasound techs and all these X-ray techs along the way, nurses, things like that, and finally I got to the doctor's part. And she worked mainly with radiologists and cardiologists. I was very inspired by this. I was really mentally excited about it. So I went into college thinking I want to do pre-med. I was boring pre-med in the fact that I did pre-med biology major. Pre-med is not a major, so it's like a focus. You can't really major in pre-med. It's a focus. So you have to do certain requirements to take the MCAT. They require you have taken some courses. I can't remember. I don't know if it's changed. I think for me it was biology, chemistry, general chemistry, organic chemistry, physics, and maybe something else. I don't remember. But anyway, so you have certain requirements, and then on top of that, pre-med obviously has other things to try to get you into the mindset and do well in medical school, prepare you for the MCAT, things like that. So I was in college. I didn't do well my freshman year, and I literally called out to the higher power. I am the higher power. Do ENT. And said, if I don't do well this next year, I can't get into med school. I won't do it. So then I did really well after that, from that point on. And the more and more I experienced medical stuff, because I still held the same jobs when I was at home during summer, the more and more I really thought doctor is probably the best avenue for several reasons. One, mentally stimulating. Two, there's excessive amounts of options. Once you're in medical school, if you think about the amount of doctors you could be a doctor that never sees a patient. You can be a doctor that looks at technology mainly all day. You could be a doctor that can do research pretty much all they want, instead of doing interactive stuff. You can do one that's, surgical, medical. There's a lot of options once you get there. So then medical school came. And the way most medical schools will do it is something like ear, nose, and throat or otolaryngology is very specialized. So they're not going to give you that as a core rotation. You basically either A, have to luck into it, like I did, or B, you'll choose to rotate in it and you'll get your experience there. So I lucked into it somewhat because the way we did it is you had these core things and then you had these selectives, but some of the selectives were kind of like a gamble. Basically, they would give preference to the fourth year medical students to have whatever rotations they wanted, and then the third years would get siphoned into available ones, and you would rank them. So they would try to get your highest rank, but whatever. So I think mine wasn't like the highest, but it was So I got into it, and I didn't know what to expect, and I loved it. That was really what inspired me to do this, to do ENT. I lucked into it. I rotated 2 weeks total. Loved it. I loved the combination of medical and surgical things. You can do pretty much almost all surgical otolaryngology practice. You can do an all medical otolaryngology practice. You can set these up. It'll take time, but you can do that. The medical probably less so. I mean, you could probably pull that off out of the gate. So, and there's such a big variety in it. If you don't know, I mean, I'm only intelligent like an eighth of the body, so whatever. But you can do a huge variety of fellowships as well as focus different areas. Allergy is a huge one coming out. Sleep, laryngology, otology or neurotology, which is ears selectivity, rhinology, ear, nose, sinus, skull-based surgeries, which is becoming very expansile, especially with the endoscopic approaches that are becoming more available, in combination surgeries with neurosurgery, which would also happen with neurotology as well. They do some of that for certain tumors and other reasons as well. What else haven't I mentioned? Pediatrics, head and neck, microvascular. I mean, there's such a big variety, even within a specialty. So ours is one of them. So as far as what inspired me to do medicine, my mom was a big part of it. I really wanted to do what she did. I really enjoyed that she got to interact with people, to help people, and come home and be able to talk about actually making a change, a difference in someone else's life, And I know all of this, there's so many jobs that do that, and there's so many ones that indirectly even do it. and people may not realize it, but I felt like you came home and you knew, like that day, what you did for people. That was a big part of it, and I think most medical professionals, I would say that's part of their inspiration getting into this. The second thing is I wanted to do something with my hands. I thought I wanted to do general pediatrics, but medicine bored the poo-poo out of me. Poo-poo. And I couldn't do it. I was bored. And so surgically, that was what inspired me too, is I really wanted to interact with my hands. The third thing is I'm not trying to be cocky, but I feel like when the pressure is on, when there's an intense situation, a life-threatening thing, I trust my ability to calm down and make a judgment. It may not be the right one. It's never going to always be the right one. But my point is, I feel like I'm more capable than most people. I've had several times where someone literally right in front of me was about to die, or had very few moments to live, and I had to make a decision. And thankfully, virtually every time, the result was more than ideal. You feel like you really made a difference, and those times are like the times for me. Not everybody in medicine. I mean, there's a lot of medicine or people in medicine who can't handle that situation. They don't want to. They don't like that. And there's very few types of pressure that I enjoy. But that is one of them. You really feel. I mean, you feel like a baller. You feel like you're the man, or woman, whichever one you are, or in between. I don't know what you feel then. Yeah. Anyway, so, but or robot. You can feel like a robot if you're a robot. So anyway, the point is you really feel awesome, and those times they're exceptional. And that's when you really shine. Sometimes, like, those moments really make it for me. There's always crap, so don't get an idea like this is the best specialty, that this is the best even thing to do with your life, medicine. There's so much out there, and there's a lot of crap I have to deal with. Politics, financial reimbursements, insurances, which are becoming even more difficult. Holy, I mean, it's not exactly an ideal life there. Call. So don't get the idea. You need an inspiration. I understand financial stability. I agree that this is a very financially available profession, and I hope to do pretty well. But if that's your only reason, you're just going to be sorely disappointed, just like any of the others. Like if you only have one of those reasons, you're not going to do well. You need multiple reasons, and not just mine. There's so many stories out there that you can find. Anyway, so I think that's pretty much all the time. I'll try to make another video as well and post it. I would apologize, but it's not like, I mean, I just have to take part of my day and do this. This isn't an adventure that gets me like a sweet amount of views or anything. If you look at my videos, so I'm glad you guys like them, and I'm glad the few people I've touched, which is kind of why I did this. But it's just tough. So thanks for being patient, and yeah, get back to you.